Kid, and welcome back to another episode of the Sports Zone. I'm Lily Sager.
And I'm Avery Hall. How are you today, Lily?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. And now, right into the sports.
The girls' track team is dominating the competition as they have won every invitational they have competed in. And our main event is Camden Bentley, shattering the state record in the 100 hurdles.
Last week, the girls bested 80 other teams to come out on top at the Wayne Invitational.
Headlining the win for the Lions were the meet recording setting 4x200 team, including Amron Chilton, Ayanna Stafford, Keena Sanders, and Camden Bentley.
And speaking of Camden Bentley, she was a part of 2 records as she just broke the state record in 100-meter hurdles, hitting a mark of 13.42.
Not only is this the state record, but this is the #1 time in the country. We caught up with Camden to talk about the race. Here's Camden.
Before the race, I took a couple deep breaths because it was going to be a quick mental race for me. So took a couple deep breaths, focused on my start to get out strong because my start is my weakness right now. So getting out hard is going to be very beneficial for me. And just maintaining my form throughout the race and running all the way through the line at the end.
Speaking of girls track, as they continue to have a successful season, our Madison Scott caught up with one of the runners, Ayanna Stafford, with more on their season and what the rest of her goals are for the season. Here's 1 minute with Ayanna Stafford.
Okay, so I'm here with Ayanna, and so we're gonna get into track. So what was your goal during your outdoor and indoor season?
To drop my 100 and 200 times and also to get out the blocks faster.
Okay, and was it hard to achieve that? How did you achieve that goal? What was your main thing to achieving that goal?
It was kind of hard to fix my blocks because it's just a really hard thing, and it's just really hard for me to push out of the blocks. But it was hard to drop my 100 times because of indoor. Indoor made it really easy. It was just like a warm up for outdoor, and then I'm not able to drop my 200 time yet. It probably won't happen till postseason, which is next week.
Okay, so and for postseason, what's your plan? What do you plan on doing?
I want to run at least an 11.7 by the end of postseason and about a 24.9 in the 200, and to still get on my blocks faster because it's just like an on and off thing.
Okay, and thank you, Ayanna. Back to the news desk.
Let's move on to the boys. The boys also had a great meet at Wayne. Both the 4x1 and 4x2 team took gold. Also, the boys' shuttle hurdles dominated the competition, taking the win as well. Some individuals that placed were Nico Kokalis coming in 6th in the 10 hurdles and Romero Wells placing 2nd in the long jump. One individual in particular is sticking out. That is Makai Shahid. Makai placed 2nd in the 200 and 3rd in the 100, hitting personal records of 21.96 and 10.75, emerging as one of the top sprinters in the state. Here's Makai to talk about his major achievements and his goals for the postseason.
I've been, trying to stay focused at practice, doing my part to help the team out. And when we go into meets, I try to lock in and focus as much as I can and, run my own race and not worry about who is around me or who's running with me. So I think focusing on myself.
Good job, guys. With the season winding down fast, the boys' track team looks to carry their success into the postseason, especially their dominance in the 4x200. Here's Luke Murray with Drew Pisco to talk more about what they are doing to prepare for the last postseason meet. Here's 1 minute.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm joined with sprinter Drew Pisco. Drew, 4x2 team has had a lot of success. What's been key to some of that success?
It's just really staying disciplined. We won the indoor state title a couple months back, and it was a great feeling, but we got back to work since then. We've just been staying focused, and it's just been a race against the clock for us these past couple meets. So we've done a really good job of staying disciplined.
Yeah, and the postseason coming up quickly, what are you guys doing to prepare for that?
Yeah, our coach has done a really good job of getting us ready. The training he set path for us for this season has prepared us to really run our best times as the postseason approaches, and that while we're in the postseason specifically. So big thanks to him, and we're really looking forward to how fast we could go.
And lastly, what are some of your goals as an individual this season and beyond in regards to track?
For the 100, 200, I would like to qualify for the regional meet this year. I think it'll be a really big step for me in my track career. And beyond that, if I could go beyond that, that'll be phenomenal. I'll take what I could get. And future plans, maybe snag a college scholarship, running college, that'd be nice. But yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, Drew. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thanks, Drew, and good luck tonight in Mason. Switching over to the baseball team. The team has only been on a roll lately. They are 8-8. On Monday night, they added to the record by defeating Westland, 9-1. And our Jaden Cohey was there. Here's Jaden with the highlights.
The Lions varsity baseball team are on a roll this season. They played at home against the Westland Cougars, and the Lions came out running. Top of the second, runners on first and second. Carson Samuels hits a triple and gains the Lions 2 RBIs. Charlie Whitaker up to bat. Bottom of the second, Charlie Whitaker hits a line drive into right field, earns a triple for his team. Lions up 2-0. Braden Reed hits down the third base line and drives in a run. Gets the RBI and Caden Pugh runs home, gaining the Lions 3-0. Adam Berger hits into the outfield, and just when you think you've seen enough, he runs and slides into second base, leaving the Lions 6-1. The Lions end the game 9-1 to grasp another win onto their season. Great job, Lions.
I thought we played well. We came out swinging. Our defense was solid, and our offense came along in the second inning. That helped us out a lot during the game.
Started off pretty rough. We lost a couple important games, but then right now we're on a 4-game win streak. We're rallying together, starting to play like a real team. You know, just doing better than we were doing.
Preston's on the bump, and we're going to play behind them. We're going to play good defense, and we're going to have good offensive approaches, and we're going to rock them.
Probably Brady when he's catching, because I know I can trust him behind the plate and just calls the right pitches.
They're a pretty good team, but we got a lot of momentum right now. And, yeah, I think that's going to be good for us.
Thanks, Jaden. Hey, Rhea, I think we have baseball's biggest fan here today.
And who might that be?
Well, Jillian Sanders, of course.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Jillian.
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. So, the baseball team has been on a roll lately, and part of that is the fact that their head coach made history. Not only is Coach Shade in the Hall of Fame here at Lincoln, he reached 500 wins last Friday. I've been covering the baseball team all season and got to take an inside look at the man that leads them all. The baseball team has a rich history here at Lincoln, and part of that history is their head coach.
My first job was at Middle School West, and when the position came open to coach freshman baseball way back when, I took advantage of it because, again, I knew I wanted to be around the game, and so I got hired on, and then in 1992 I was offered the head job, and I've been doing that ever since.
Coach Shade has been the head coach since 1992. But what has been his favorite part about coaching?
Oh, no question, the people, all of the athletes and the families that we've had a chance to interact with and meet, and I think I have gained probably more from them than they have from me. The game of baseball is a great game, and when you have an opportunity to meet good people and be around good people.
His favorite part has been the people and the players that he's met, and the players can say the same thing about their love for him.
My favorite part about having Coach Shade as my coach is he works extremely hard for us day in and day out, and he's always on top of it. You know, he's waking up early, working hard for us.
Coach Shade does a lot for our program. He's always the first person here every single time. Rain delays, he's here the entire day getting the field ready. He's involved with all of our progressions, each and every one of us. He truly cares about each and every single one of us.
And he does care about all of them. But how has he stayed coaching for so many years?
Being around the athletes, that's really what it is. It's very rewarding to be around the athletes and the kids that they want to strive, they want to achieve. And that challenge has always been something that I've enjoyed.
Step defense on your belly.
Coach Shade has been the head coach at Gahanna for 30 years, and he just hit a major milestone.
It's very special. Back in '92, the administration took a chance on me being head baseball coach here, and they've stuck with me, and it's been a tremendous ride. I'm just very, very proud of our boys. They always come out to play. They always come out to compete, and I couldn't be more proud of the guys that are wearing the blue and gold, because they're the ones that made it happen.
As him and his team continue to increase the program's wins, we wish them all the luck with the rest of their season. This is Jillian Sanders in the Zone. Now let's move our attention over to softball. The girls softball team competed against Westerville Central this week. Ella Esterby pitched 6 innings, shutting down the Warhawks in the last 3. In the fourth, the Lions were hot at the plate, scoring 5 runs in a really great rally to get started. Gabby Esterby, Sarah Carr, Lindsay Linker, and Kieran Bailey all did great at the plate. Kieran Bailey had 3 stolen bases through the game, and the Lions locked down the defense, shutting out the Warhawks with a run rule of 15-5. Now their record is 19-2 and being first in the OCC. Congrats, girls. Well, that's all the sports information I have for you today. Back to Lily and Avery at the news desk.
Thanks, Jill. For some athletes, this is the last time many will be competing in sports. But for other athletes, they are moving on to the collegiate level. On Wednesday, many athletes signed their commitment to compete in college-level athletics. We caught up with one of the athletes with more on their big commitment.
I'm just super proud of the journey that I've come through high school and just club swimming, and I'm just super excited for the opportunity to be able to swim as a collegiate athlete. I know that not a lot of athletes get to continue. It's a very small percentage, so I'm super thankful and grateful and to my family, coaches, and friends.
Congrats again, guys, on signing. Our boys tennis team is gearing up for the postseason. They had their last regular season match yesterday against Olentangy Liberty, suffering a 4-1 loss. Brandon Carpico won the Lions' only match. As our boys tennis team prepares for the postseason, we caught up with Coach Schwinnen about his thoughts on sectionals and part of the return to states.
You know, tennis is one of those unusual sports that all season we are a team and we play matches as a team, but then when we get to the OHSAA postseason, it becomes an individual sport. And so preparation is mostly the same as it would have been for most of the year, just getting everybody ready, especially depending on what position they're playing. We're able to play 3 singles players and 2 doubles teams. So obviously during our practices, the limited ones that we've been able to have, we're going to be focusing on those things. So Brandon, Matt, and Eli are going to be our 3 singles players in the OHSAA tournament this year. So obviously during practice, most of their focus is going to be on singles play. And Quinn Smith and Jackie Graham, Eli Bradford, and Brian Popelka are our doubles teams this year. So during practice, we're going to focus a little bit on a lot of doubles drills for them.
Thanks, and good luck, boys. Last night, our Gahanna boys volleyball team took on Westerville South Wildcats at home. The boys showed out for senior night, defeating South in 3 sets. In the first set, the Lions won 25-12. Second set, Lions led 25-18. In the final set, Lions won 25-19. Some of the Lions' strengths were their lengthy serving streaks and their unreturned hits. Great job, Lions.
Speaking of volleyball, our Liam O'Brien caught up with freshman hitter Nate Boggs. Liam took us onto the court to get inside the mindset of a young varsity player. Here's 1 minute with Nate Boggs.
I'm Liam O'Brien. I'm here with Nate Boggs, freshman varsity starter for our boys volleyball team. Nate, what are some things you do in the off-season to prepare for the school season?
Typically I'll work on very specific skills, like, I don't know, I maybe like choose like passing or something to work on specifically, just going out in the backyard and just passing with myself, or I mean, I've got my brother too, who's also on varsity that I can help practice with too, so a lot of very specific work that I just like to do on my own. So.
Awesome, yeah, so a lot of assets you have to help you train.
Yeah.
So the next question is how do you get ready pregame or on game day?
I'll typically focus on one aspect, maybe like a line shot or a specific serving zone maybe that I want to work on, you know, just trying to do that better than I did the last game.
Gotcha. Awesome. So what are some of your favorite things about your team or maybe your teammates?
I really like the kind of the energy we have. It's a lot less, I guess, how do I put it? It's not a lot about, like, we really focus on winning and doing everything like that, but it's a lot more focusing on, like, if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world and stuff, and it's a really good environment to have, to know that it's okay to make a mistake, and then you can move on from it and better contribute to your team.
Yeah, so you feel comfortable making mistakes and being able to grow in that aspect?
Yes.
Awesome. And so my last question is, what do you foresee in the future of this program, since you're a very young player in this program?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about it. I see a lot of, like, me and then the other freshman starter, Colin, is a very exciting thing to have, but also a lot of people on our freshman team, too. It's a very exciting thing to have with a lot of young talent and everything that I think we can grow a lot.
For sure, yeah. All right, thank you, Nate. Back to the sports desk.
Thanks, Nate. Hey, Avery, we have a state champ on set with us today.
You're right. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, guys.
Let's jump right into lacrosse. We have both a boys and lacrosse teams here today at Lincoln. Even though they play the same sport, there are some major differences between the two sports. Whether that be the gear, difficulty, or aggressiveness, our Javon Lewis takes us onto the field to find out what those differences are. Here's Javon.
There are many differences between these two sports, from the size of their sticks down to the equipment they use.
Chest pad here, get whacked a lot. Protect your heart. Protect's pretty good. Got your helmet here. Pretty good if you get hit in the head with the ball, or somebody winds up and shoots it, hits you in the head. Let's see. Wow. Got elbows here in case you get whacked. Hurts. You don't want to be in pain. Self-explanatory. Yep. And then you got your gloves. Get hit in the finger with a stick, it hurts pretty bad. So these things they help. They're here to protect you, tough as nails.
We have goggles, mouth guards, obviously lacrosse sticks, pennies. There's not very much protective equipment.
Although boys and girls lacrosse share a similar title, there are many key differences between the two sports.
There is a big difference between boys and girls lacrosse. Girls lacrosse is technically non-contact, but that's not really true. In boys lacrosse, it's a lot more intense, and they can definitely hit each other with their actual stick, and they wear like full body pads unlike girls.
As far as differences between boys and girls lacrosse, the physicality is the biggest difference. And truthfully, I think that girls lacrosse, if I was a girl, had a daughter, I would want her to play the boys version. I always felt like the boys version was a lot more fun for the kids because they can kind of take out some aggression and play a contact sport, whereas the girls sport's more of a kind of a technical game. And a lot of the girls that I know who play now and play in college kind of wish that they could be a little more physical when they play. So I'd say the biggest difference would be physicality, and I think a lot of people wish that the girls' game could be a lot more physical.
I think there's definitely a lot more contact in boys lacrosse. It's definitely a contact sport, where girls is a non-contact sport. But I think we keep it that way so you don't have to wear the padding and the more protective equipment.
The difference between boys and girls lacrosse is mainly like how boys is more physical than girls. Mainly because of the padding, we're able to beat each other up and everything. But that's the big difference between boys and girls lacrosse.
Now that we know the differences between these two sports, should anything change?
I think the main change should be that girls should have gear as well, like us boys, because I feel like they should also play a physical game, because it's pretty fair. I feel like girls can hit as well, so that's why I think should mainly change for that.
The boys lacrosse team took a hard-fought loss against the Westerville Wildcats 9-5. Key scorers for the Lions were freshman Eddie Jennings, freshman Cole Gervais, junior Ryan McGinnis, and senior Kayla Mason. The Lions will try and bounce back and get back on the winning track Monday as they take on Newark. Good luck, Lions. Now let's move our attention over to the girls. The girls played Hilliard-Davidson last night and lost in double overtime 15-14, making their record 9-6. Their next game is on Tuesday against Thomas Worthington. We want to wish them good luck for the rest of their season. Athletes everywhere struggle with the constant balance between school, sports, friends, family, and even some of them have jobs. Constantly going to and from these things can leave high school students feeling drained. As May is Mental Health Month, our Olivia Doyle takes a closer look at what goes on in the minds of our athletes.
The support of athletes is filling when inside a gym or stadium, but what happens outside of a game day can be completely overwhelming.
The pressures of being a student athlete are bigger than what everyone thinks they are, because you have to deal with juggling your school and academics, all the work, and then also deal with practices, games, and it's just a lot of lack of time, and you have to figure out your priorities and make sure everything is going good.
Being a student athlete itself can be difficult because there's a lot to do.
Although the pressures of being a student athlete are completely overwhelming, luckily we attend a school as big as Gahanna where the resources are almost unlimited.
We have our counselors, we have mental health specialists, we have the Smart Lab and other groups that we can bring together just to help with anyone's situation.
Going out and talking to people at the school, because I'm sure there's plenty of people here that would be willing to lift you up and encourage you.
Counselors, your coaches, your teachers, they all understand what you're going through.
However, if you are struggling, the first thing you need to do is advocate for yourself.
taking that courage to speak up and just say, I need help.
And do something for yourself to make yourself feel better.
Keep fighting. In the end, it's all worth it.
Sports are some of the most fun thing, and they shouldn't be stressful, and you can just keep going, keep pushing, and everything will pay off academically and athletically.
Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay, and trust the people around you, because we want what's best for kids.
If you are struggling, the first thing that you should do is talk to your coach. The second thing you should do is schedule an appointment with your guidance counselor. This is Olivia Doyle in The Zone.
Thanks, Olivia. Well, that is all the sports news I have. Back to Lily and Avery at the sports desk.
Thanks, Brandon. May is the month for mental health awareness.
And here at Lincoln, we have over 700 student athletes that have balanced being a student and an athlete.
Our Delaney Rossetti caught up with some of these athletes and how they deal with the balancing being a high school student and an athlete.
Here's Delaney with the story.
School itself can be hard. Balancing each class and trying to maintain good grades can be rough. But students here at Gahanna Lincoln that also play sports have had a lot more to deal with than just the 7 hours a day they go through at school.
There's a lot to balance. Whenever you have extremely hard courses like honors algebra 2 or honors English and you need to write an essay or get your homework done, it's hard when you have a game the night before, and that's a whole 7 innings.
It's very difficult. You have to manage your time very well. If you don't, your grades could slip, your performance could slip, if not both.
Students already have a lot to deal with. Battling on sports to the many challenges of school can take a toll on teens' mental health.
I've definitely lost a few hours of sleep.
It can affect the mental side of things. It definitely puts some stress on you if you have a few big tests coming up throughout the week and big matches or a big tournament. When everything is all kind of stacked on top of each other, it gets really tough. It can become pretty stressful.
Even though balancing sports and school can be rough, students here at Gahanna Lincoln have found ways to manage and persevere when times get tough.
Anytime it gets hard, I just think about what it feels like to get my hand raised, what it's gonna feel like when I get my diploma, when I move on to the next level. It's not gonna get any easier from here.
It's definitely doable. I know a lot of people who are multi-sport athletes. I used to be one. And it's definitely doable. I think you just have to have the mentality.
And finding things that are positive when things get pretty tough, it's super important.
Being a student athlete comes with its challenges, but the reward and return of the hard work makes it all worth it. This is Delaney Rossetti in The Zone.
1, 2, 3, big team!
Well, Lincoln, this was our last time anchoring the Sports Zone.
And don't forget,
run faster.
Lincoln.